When you have an opportunity to grow and build with something called AI and partnerships, we're going to have the opportunity today to talk to the king of tech in one of the best programs that I actually invested in, Apps Build with AI with Justin Burns. We got Coach Aki that's going to give us a little background about where he's been, as well as where we can actually link up with him to get more information. This amazing partner in AI power productivity is amazing in itself. I mean, it's a situation when you invest in yourself, and it's like slipping on heaven, if I can say the least. Finding individuals that have the same like mind with tech, AI, growth, opportunities, connections, helping people. That's who Coach Aki is. And that's who we're going to talk to today about not just about the business of building apps and building a legacy. It's understanding what the why is and the story and the authenticity is in regards to building it. Because it doesn't matter if I build an app, if I build a million apps. And thank you so much for tuning in to the AI Legacy App Talk Live with Adrian Mays. What up, though? We're going to talk to someone that really understands this AI tech world. Just being introduced from Philly, we were just talking about, and just understanding that growth and building and helping people. That's what he does on a day-to-day basis. So I had the honor for him not only saying yes to this conversation in regards to just kind of getting in, digging a little bit deeper in who we call Coach Aki. Let me go ahead and bring him to the stage. What up, though, Coach? How are you, my friend?
Miss Adrian Mays, what's going on? How are you?
I am amazing, Coach. Thank you so much for showing up for the AI Legacy App Talk Live. We're going to just kind of dive in and really just kind of give people just the understanding of who is this amazing Coach Aki from Philly that that we actually connected a couple of months ago in Apps Built with AI.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for having me on your show. This is a beautiful setup that you have here. My name is so my full name is Akinyemi Bajulaiye. So my family is from Nigeria. I was born and raised in New York. And as I mentioned, before the show, I'm based here in Philly. So I've been in Philly for it's crazy because I always say over 10 years, but now I will, as of probably next month, I will have been in Philly for as long as I was in New York. So it's been about 15 years that I've been out here.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah. And I've been working in this sort of space around tech, startups, innovation for over 10 years as well now. So yeah, happy to share any of my learnings and have this conversation with you.
Well, I'm so excited for so many different reasons. Anytime that you can spit off information about vibe coding that we're going to talk a
Mm.
little bit deeper about, just like the back of your hand, that's where does all of this tech background come from? The amazing Culture Key that blesses us with all this lovable and replit and understanding of how did you even get started with this space? Like, kind of walk me through. I know you kind of went fast. You said
Mhm.
your family was from Nigeria, then you were in New
Yeah.
York for a while. Kind
Mhm.
of, did you always have a love for tech and AI, in this AI new world?
So I'll say that I've always had a love for emerging technologies
Okay,
and
okay,
also just the early phase of new spaces. And so that's carried over from tech, but also to just new kind of initiatives and endeavors. So whether that be even like apps built with AI, for example, I always happen to find myself at like the beginning of when something is getting started throughout my career. And
hmm
but in terms of technology, I think it's easiest to start from my very first experience, um, which was actually building an app. And
hmm
so back in 2014, my background is actually something different. It's actually in the life sciences. So I
Huh.
so I studied actually biology. I worked in science research for many years, and basically, what happened is I took this tech seminar. It was this seminar that I learned was actually an incubator. And at the
Hmm.
time, I wasn't really aware of what that was. Really, that wasn't my background. But in this seminar, but it seemed interesting, right? And in this seminar, they encouraged everyone to build an app.
Okay.
And this is back in 2014, and so they encourage you to build an app. And each week they would bring somebody new to talk about a different aspect of what it looked like to bring an app idea to life. And so
Okay.
through that experience, one, I learned all about just bringing an idea to life. I had an opportunity to work on an app, and then I also just kind of caught the bug. Like I caught the startup tech bug, and that really was honestly like facilitated a shift in my career. And so
Mhm.
I got dove deep into the space of startups, and I worked on this mental health platform called Share Anonymous. And
Mm.
I tell people that it felt like entrepreneurship 101 for me, because
Okay.
I went through all the emotions and experiences of just the process of bringing an idea to life.
Mm.
And so that's kind of like where I'd say the story starts in regard to tech, and many other experiences since then, but that led me to working on working for a startup incubator. I played a role in bringing actually an innovation campus to life in Philadelphia,
Okay.
called the Pennovation Center on is on Grace Ferry Avenue, and basically a space where a lot of early stage startups, particularly life science startups, are being built out of. And then from there, is when I got really heavy into emerging technologies. In the last several years, as vibe coding has become a real real hot topic. I kind of got into vibe coding at the early stages of it before it was even titled vibe coding.
Okay.
And uh and and I think because I had the experience of working on that first app back in 2014, and a lot of the challenges I went through during
Mm.
that time, and a lot of what I was actually uh unable to really move forward in the way that I wanted, or the timeline that I wanted, when vibe coding, or at least the concept of building apps with AI, of being able to do a lot of like what um, you know we're doing in the apps built with AI program, and the like. Um, I was, you know, I was obsessed, and if you know me, I'm the type of person when like I got latch onto something, like it's
Right.
yeah, it's just it's a wrap. So
It's over with.
yeah,
Once you get started with it, it's just a
yeah,
done deal, huh?
yeah. For
I
sure.
love. I mean, that's it's so exciting, and just to give people a understanding of what we're talking about. If you're not familiar, Talia is the number one supporter that showed up again. What up, though, Talia? Thank
Going
you
on
so much for
Kalea.
the support. She's our number one supporter. Real talk. Um, but in regards to just vibe coding in general, it's what that is. Just like in layman's terms, I'm gonna put
Yeah,
a link up on the screen here. It's just simple and easy. It's just taking an idea and turning it into what is turning it into some type of system or having a solution to the system. Is that a simple way to kind of explain it, coach? Like if
yeah,
someone never understood what vibe coding was?
yeah, yeah. So I would say, I think you explained it well. Because it allows you to essentially bring your ideas to life through AI.
Mhm.
I would describe it as the idea of building apps or systems with AI. I would say,
Okay,
yeah,
okay. And so, talk a little bit we talked a little bit about backstage, but Justin Burns is the one that
yeah,
linked us all together. I have to, like I said, in regards to just finding your tribe, I'm so
yeah,
huge on that because you have this crazy mind. Like my background is in engineering and
yeah,
business, and you feel like you're one out of no, like by yourself, and then you find all these people right around Christmas time. You feel like
mm,
God just blessed you, right, with like hundreds of people that think like you. And Justin
mm.
Burns kind of got all of us together. So shout out to what up though, Justin. Have to.
Shout out
Right?
to Justin
Because
for
I mean,
sure.
we're all in this space together. Now, tell me, how did you connect with Justin Burns?
Yeah, so Justin, he and I connected on Upwork actually. So he found me on Upwork, and so our original conversation was all around vibe coding, or at least the concept of building apps with AI. I would say,
Okay.
and um, and so yeah, I mean, I think what was great about honestly that original conversation I had with Justin is
Hmm.
that I didn't know all that many people who look like us that are building in this space in this kind of way. And so that was so that was very fruitful. And so that led to me coming on to at the time primarily do some of these one-on-ones, and then the tech coaching calls that that I do every other week.
In regards to app building in itself, like the tech calls, like I've come on, I've asked you a million questions, and you always got the answer, coach. You're amazing. Like that, I think that is such a great skill set, right? Just to be able to just know the answer in
Yeah.
seconds, like, and not using ChatGPT or Claude or any type of
Mm,
perplexity or anything like that. Like this is
yeah.
all you.
Yeah.
So did you study in school? You said life sciences. Now,
Mhm.
did you take any certifications? Like, right now we're in the apps build with AI certification to
Yeah.
kind of help with that AI, the app building process step by
Yeah.
step. Did you take any certification or is this all
S
you? Like
so
since
so
2014, getting that love and you just finding and building yourself
mm,
and your company. You had to talk about your company as well.
yeah. I mean, I've been I talk about it a lot now. I feel like I've
Mhm,
been doing this for a while now, just as far as um just gaining information and knowledge and consuming information. And in regard to vibe coding specifically, I've
mhm,
literally been eating, sleeping, breathing this for um from the time that this whole space started. I've literally seen some of these uh terms and even concepts come about in real time. Like for
mm,
example, the term MCP, which is
okay.
sort of becoming the new API, if you will. Like I know those who are tuning in are familiar with APIs, which are kind of like a way of being able to connect software together. Uh, MCPs is sort of becoming the new version of that for AI. So you'll start hearing that more often. I literally remember the day MCPs were launched
Mhm,
by Anthropic. So it's like being able to actually see an industry be built in real time, and then also uh, just the idea of and I feel like as you get deeper into the space, especially if you take it seriously, you just start seeing what is possible. Right, like the fact that you can open up one of these platforms, Lovable, Replit, Cursor, any of these platforms, and literally through the English language, you can bring an idea to life. I mean, so it's I was just hooked from the jump, and I've really just spent a lot of time with it to the point where it's like another language to me.
but the great thing is too about, how like we talk about having a problem and creating a solution.
Mhm.
Talk a little bit about in regards to the importance of having a niche market. Like is
Mm.
when you're building an app is because I know I before I met you all,
Yeah.
before I was blessed with the opportunity of having something amazing like a structured program and having a mentorship, uh, I actually built the app by myself with Lovable. And
Mm.
so, and not having those steps and then coming and seeing the difference, it made me slow down a lot before
Yeah.
building the Nets app, right? So, you talk a little bit about someone that may be out there building, have a great idea, building it out by themselves, and the importance of mentorship because I know the
Mhm.
impact it has been on me. This,
Yeah.
how important is the mentorship in this app building world?
Yeah. So, yes, I would say mentorship is extremely important, primarily because mentorship in general, especially when you can get effective mentorship, it completely cuts the amount of time it takes to uh, get to your destination or achieve your goals, and so you're able to learn from mistakes that mentor may have made or the lessons were learned along the way, and and kind of take from the pool of whether it's knowledge or just experiences to
Mhm,
add to the to the journey that you're on. And so it's I feel like mentorship is one of those things where there probably like one or two just like concepts that really are, I'd say, are very helpful for just
mhm,
progress in life in general, but
mhm.
especially in a world like this.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And the key thing too, everything's changing. I didn't realize how impactful it was to have a tech call every other week.
Mm,
And so let's talk a little bit about Lovable.
okay.
Now, why Lovable, as a platform versus a Base 44 or Replit
Mm,
or a VO, you know, for introduction, if I was someone that was just, hey, Coach Aki, I got a great idea.
yeah.
Which platform should I use? And we talk about Lovable a lot, in our certifications as well.
Yeah.
Talk about why Lovable is a good place to kind of get started with, just even the process and,
Mhm.
just the whole vibe coding, next steps as well.
Yeah. So I'll say that one thing about the tech world and just like the idea of being technical, or things being very technical, is how something is communicated is very important, because you need to be able to communicate in a way that's going to be received by the learner. And I feel like
Mhm.
Lovable does a really great job at communicating the value that it's that's bringing to you. And so for those who are getting started, I Lovable is usually the first place I tell you, I tell a person to get to begin with this concept of building apps with AI or vibe coding. And so these different platforms, they all have their sort of strengths and weaknesses. But Lovable, I'd say its biggest strength is very nicely designed, as you can see. And I love how you're bringing these up right now. I'll be able to put it into context.
Right.
And it's very nicely designed, and it's been made to also be very user friendly too. So I say for those reasons.
And then I have to hit you with the 1-2 punch because with Lovable and this blueprint builder, which is like a godsend for anyone that's building an app, because again, giving that structure, what have you as well. Now, talk about in regards to just the importance of validation of your idea. Because
Mm,
again, like I shared with you, I started just on a whim. As
yeah.
I saw Alicia Little at the
Mm,
queen of AI at a conference. I was like, oh my God, there's Lovable. And I
yeah.
can actually, having this tech background, I was like, this engineering degree, mom, is not going to go, So, so I was so
Mm.
excited. I didn't even go to Thanksgiving dinner, real talk.
Wow.
So I was vibe coding, and I was like, "Oh my god, this engineering degree is actually going to be for something, right?" And so excited, but
Wait, hold on. Let me stop right there. You said
yeah,
you missed Thanksgiving dinner
I did.
to vibe code?
I was
Yeah, that's
bro.
crazy.
I saw dollar signs. I'm on a billionaire journey, right? So
Yeah,
it was Christmas. I was like, shoot,
100%.
my Christmas is going to be great because Thanksgiving,
Mm.
sacrifices.
Wow,
God said sacrifices,
wow,
right? So,
wow,
but
wow.
but it's so funny though
Yeah.
because what happened, I got you guys. That was my Christmas
Mm.
gift. Like
Yeah.
real talk. And it's
Mm.
so crazy that me even putting all that together right now, because that's the truth. Like
Yeah,
I was trying to do it all before tat season because that's another reason I had to slow down because tat season is right now. Because
yeah.
I was trying to get everything done. I was hitting y'all
Mhm.
on so I'm so glad I slowed down because validation is the
Yeah,
what we were talking about. How
yeah.
important is it to validate your idea? Because like I said, my idea was amazing. I got off the
Mm.
conference. I got to work. I didn't
Mm.
ask anybody. I didn't
Yeah.
I'm so how important is validation if any type of journey if you're trying to monetize your app? How
Mm.
important is that step in regards to the process?
Validation is extremely important. And for those who may be unfamiliar with the concept, validation is really just testing your idea, or gaining information or data about your idea,
Mhm.
to know if it's something that it will resonate with an audience enough to put real time and dedication towards it. And I'll say that vibe coding, one of the things about vibe coding is because you can build these apps a lot more quickly than in the past. And sometimes, we can actually take for granted the
Right.
fact that you can build these apps. Like the app I told you about that I started with in 2014. I spent years and years on this app.
Mm,
And you can go on these tools. And so we could be a little bit spoiled sometimes around, like, the 'cause we want to get it out there and everything. But validating your idea is extremely important, so that you don't go and put time and resources into something that you could have actually nipped earlier on. And vibe coding is good because you're able to get, whether it's a prototype out there very quickly, whether it's a visual out there very quickly in that process. And it's the way I look at uh the app building process is that it's a constant testing. You're constantly going to be testing your ideas, testing your assumptions. And you want to you want to make sure you don't put too much pressure on yourself to have all the answers, because you may learn from a user that something resonated that you thought wouldn't, right? And vice versa. You may think that, okay, no, this is it, right here, and then you find out that's, it was crickets, for example. So you want to be kind of open to different possibilities, and really take in the feedback.
and I'm laughing because now I so now know what crickets feel like so tough. You know what I'm saying? I know what crickets and what I know Miss Emma, she came to see us. Thank you so much for coming live. But
Emma,
I
how you
know what
doing?
crickets feel like. I'm so glad that, you fail first. So
Mm,
when I hit the lick, it's gonna be so amazing because I've
yeah,
already been used to it. Like I know
yeah.
what it feels like to launch and no one's there.
Mhm.
And I know but you know what? You still have to keep going. I'll be honest
100%.
with you. And like it was for about a
That was
week
just
and
that
a
was just
half.
a test.
You know how our WhatsApp group goes
Mhm.
off the chain. I had to turn everything off because I kind of had to step away because I was intimidated by so many billionaire mindsets in
Mm,
one place.
mm,
But then I stepped back and I said, "Oh, God is just preparing me for the journey."
mm,
So,
mm,
then I kept going or what have you, went to
mm.
Angie's accountability call and kept
Yeah,
going through the process. But that's why it's important to have a village
yeah.
and a crew and a team.
Mm,
And to my next question is also a why.
yeah,
So I have a why so tough that will because when it was like God was putting all the steps together. When he said that the youth part is going to be a part of the next part of the app building process,
yeah.
I'm president of my foundation. So
Mm,
it was like God is just putting everything in alignment. So what is your why? Because my
yeah,
why is my foundation is to be
yeah,
able to spread this word and these opportunities to youth all over the world. But
yeah.
for you, coach, what's your why that keeps you going, that makes you passionate about, this
Mm.
opportunity of being in this best time, like Justin says all the time, the best time in the world right now?
I think if I had to boil down my why, to a couple of sentences or even just a sentence is it's to be to have the ability and be in position to be a rock for my family and community.
Mm,
And I think that we're going through such a disruptive time in society. And there's a lot that's exciting about the tech and about how it's progressing and the opportunities that it creates. But it's also a lot that is anxiety inducing as well. Like
mhm.
we just had a war breakout this past weekend. Like
I
it's
mean, who we wanna talk about it?
like it's nothing,
I didn't even
uh,
know we were at war until like, a day ago. I was like, "Oh,
Claude going out and all that. So
I mean, that's
it's a
real."
yeah. It's, and so just so that's really my why, and I say a lot of what drives the decisions I make and um yeah the things that I do.
And then Miss Emma said it hit it on the nail. It's so blessing to have a family that, kinda helps you land and catches you when you fall as well.
Mm,
So that's one of the greatest things that I love about our community, even, like, showing up here today as well, sharing
mhm,
your story. So tell me, what about your story drives you to keep going? Like,
mm,
what makes you just it doesn't matter like we're at war. We have, things that we
yeah.
want to accomplish, but we have to go it day by day. But what makes you keep going within your purpose?
Mm. I mean, I think that I think what you said, right? The having a strong enough why, and when you have a strong enough why, you will be able to continue when times get hard, when you feel unmotivated, uh, when you come across challenges, when you come across hurdles, and you're also it's also opportunities to strengthen that muscle around uh, your resilience and also reframe. These are all this entrepreneurship journey and the things that we do. It's a lot of reframing, right? Like it's a
That's a
lot
good way
of
to put it.
it's a lot of reframing. It's a lot of like understanding, right? Like the lessons in the things that transpire, right?
Right.
What is this trying to teach me in this moment? How do I contextualize this experience that happened, right? Whether it was to me or even not to me, and so that's kind of the I saw something the other day where somebody said that your business will grow in connection to how much you as an individual grows.
Mm,
And so I look at even the process of us building our businesses, the apps that we work on. I also look at it as opportunities for self growth as well, and I think that that's extremely important too. That like we look at ourselves in the mirror as well in this process,
right.
um, and so it goes hand in hand.
I love it. I love it.
Mhm.
And I want you to talk a little bit about Pinterest Media as well.
Yeah,
That's your baby in
yeah.
regards to So, talk a little bit about how that even got started and, kind of make what made you even get started with building this amazing company and talk a little bit about the why and mission as well.
Yeah, so Pentridge, so this actually started. So this was started back in 2023,
Okay.
um, when I kind of conceived of the concept, and it was so here I'm in Philly. I mentioned in West Philly, and I actually I have a house that I rent out to content creators and artists. On
Really?
Yeah, so I've had all sorts of just creatives occupy the space from like filmmakers and singers, rappers, comedians, and it kind of turned into a thing, but it's on Pentridge. It's actually on Pentridge Street in Philly, and so um
Okay.
and the I call the house Pentridge Manor, and basically Pentridge Media started as a way to better serve these people who were booking the house,
Mhm.
and then also business owners as well. So the original idea of it, and I think I probably have it somewhere on the about page, is that it was largely around serving those in the content creation space and individual businesses. And so it was things like content editing, and so the work that I was doing was very different at that time.
Mhm.
And then as I was actually starting to connect more with these businesses that I would help, and I started realizing sort of even like why people create content, for example. Like a lot of like I consider myself a content creator now, and I enjoy creating content, but it's also largely connected to for business reasons, right? Like it's a form of lead generation.
Mhm.
It's a form of being able to build your personal brand. Like these are important concepts in the time that we're living in, and that's also, as I started working with a lot of people, realize like that's why a lot of people were creating content, especially business owners. And so I say that to say that I started connecting the work that I was doing with some of these concepts around things like lead generation and marketing automation, and it kind of naturally led me in that direction,
Mhm.
and that's how it all started to evolve and go down this direction of marketing automation that then evolved into basically like AI automation, which is really what it is now.
Mhm.
And so that was really the progression of Pentridge and the concept of Pentridge.
I love the house
Yeah.
idea. Like, I'm still
Yeah.
stuck on the fact, like, that's such an idea that I had,
Yeah.
seriously. It was to have because I'm single with no children. So I
Mm,
wanted to have different properties in different places and then be
yeah.
able, like you said, to rent them out. But what was one of the and I wanna today, thank you so much for coming live. She wanted to actually state that she said testing is most challenging because it stops you in your tracks and forces you to think differently. Yes,
Mm,
the community passion is very important. Being African, it reminds me of the concept that it takes a village to raise a child. That is so huge. Like, thank you for keeping me focused because I think I was going to go off on a tangent with the creator house, but but on a real state, like it does take a village to raise a child because we
yeah.
all have different mindsets and different skill
Mhm.
sets. And but what was your one thing that you loved about doing the creator house? And then I'll let it go. Like, what
Okay.
was your one thing of that you enjoyed about just that opportunity because, diversity of income is how you become a billionaire.
So I want to mention two things. The
Mhm.
first is that it was just a more pleasant experience than
It was
some.
not or was?
No, it was a more pleasant experience doing it than other concepts that I did. So before I did the content house, I had an Airbnb,
Okay.
and the Airbnb versus content house concept is like night and day. I think Airbnb, I I probably didn't have effective enough systems in place. But I mean,
Mm.
but everything comes up in Airbnb. Like I could tell you the things I saw when I had that house on Airbnb. And we're not going to get get into that. But the content house, for some reason, the guests just tend to really respect the space a lot more. Typically, like they'll leave it the way they come,
Mhm.
most of the time, and it also gave you opportunity to connect with different creators, which was cool. I've had a chance to meet different people, and so that's the first reason. And then I say the second thing that's been really cool about it is I've learned that um that customer service is extremely big for that, and being able to kind of keep the people, the guests who come to the house happy. I realized like I have a knack for customer service that I didn't realize that, and so I think that kind of like revealed that to me, and I'm
It
happy about
revealed you're a nice guy.
well, reveal that like you gotta keep the customer, you gotta keep the customer happy.
Right,
Like,
you
you
do.
gotta keep
It's
the
it's
customer happy. Yeah,
it's your way or right away, like Burger King. It's
yeah,
simple and easy, but that's why we do things like this because again, you don't know what you don't know, and
yeah.
it was so funny because once Justin actually launched all of the different modules, and I
Mhm,
saw what I didn't know, like for example, GitHub. I knew what APIs were. I had some
yeah.
type of familiarity with some of the process or what have you, just doing reading and ChatGPT. This my guy Chad, ChatGPT
Mhm.
from the D, amazing, bro. But but on a serious note, when I saw all of the different modules, I was like, I don't want to mess up. Adrian, slow
Mm,
down. So I'm so glad that I slowed down now that I feel I'm ready to kind of go off to the next step or what have you.
mm.
So I saw that passion in your eye in regards to just like the different things that you do with the creator house, with
Yeah.
Pinterest manner is what you said, right? Is
Mhm.
so in other words, how do you actually decide what ideas you kind of move forward with or you kind
Yeah.
of hesitate with? How do you decide? Because we're those type of people, right? We just have all these different ideas.
Mhm.
How do you decide which ones you'll kind of move forward with and not move forward with? Is the direct
Yeah.
question. Mhm.
So I think I'll say something I've gotten better and with over the years, and still working to continue to get better with. I'll say looking at what the bigger picture is and your overall objective is very, I call it the devil in the red dress. That like it's very easy to get caught up in all all the different ideas that you have, and you want to work on everything. But there's a book that I read a few years back. It's called the One Thing,
Mhm.
and it's actually by the interestingly enough the owner of the real estate brokerage Keller Williams, and it's a really good book because it just talks about the concept of compounding, and
Okay.
how the what you work on and what you stay consistent with compounds over time. And when you uh divide your energy in too many different directions, it it may take a little it may take more time for what you're working on to compound, but then also it may make it more difficult to keep that consistency with what you're working on. And when you really get deep into whether it's an activity, a business that you're building, any sort of lane of work, you realize how much it really takes to bring something to life, to bring anything to life. And so then it makes you kind of really have to think deeply about what are you going to commit your time to, and what are you going to really um take there, right? And so I'd say a lot of reflection to decide, and also not. It's very important to know yourself. I feel like our society is very big on you hear about analysis paralysis, for example, and most people are suffer from analysis paralysis. I feel like I suffer from the opposite of analysis paralysis.
Right?
It's like, and so it's like you have to know yourself well enough to know that. So I've gotten better at um an- uh analyzing a little bit more before I make a move on something, or make a decision to pull a trigger. And then I ask myself before I even make a long-term commitment, is I ask myself, for example, I mentioned to you before we came on here that I have a YouTube channel.
Mhm.
Before I started my YouTube channel, I told myself, am I willing to do this for the next 10 years?
Mm.
And I'm like, I made, I got, before I started the channel, I already made that mental decision that like, I'm going to put 10 years into this.
Mhm.
And so, cause that consistency and it also takes the pressure off of uh, wanting to see, or the desire to see results immediately. And so I ask myself those kinds of questions because it's not easy to stay consistent, especially when you have competing priorities, when you have other responsibilities to take care of. And though it's actually interesting, like it's like the simplest things
Mm.
that create the biggest results. And So I say, yeah, those are the things I would say.
Like you said, the simplest things create the biggest results. That stands out to me because it reiterates the fact that if you just keep going, I honestly started to count up for my billionaire journey because
Mm,
I'm on day 653. And the reason I started
oh,
to count up is because I had to play a mind game with myself
yeah.
too. Because you said something that you mentioned, like in 10 years, I want to do my YouTube channel. Like
Hmm.
I did that, I did it so tough to my detriment because I'm a Virgo and I'm so analytical and
Mm,
I'm an engineer and all of
yeah.
those different factors together.
Uh,
You know what I'm saying? So when I started my digital marketing journey after I left my mortgage career and started this digital journey, I said I gave myself a year.
mm,
I told my family everything. I'm going to be a billion. Well, at that time, I was a millionaire,
yeah.
and so I locked myself in. I started learning about all this digital marketing, and we're here. You know,
Yeah.
but the funny thing is about this amazing thing called something called a journey of life. You
Yeah.
learn that everything happens for a reason, and
Yeah.
so I think everything happened to me because I need to learn how to slow down.
Mm,
So you mentioned something in regards to mental health and loving
yeah.
yourself. I have
Mm,
to bring that up because it's so huge for men.
yeah.
How important is mental health for you in your
Oof.
journey in regards to? I don't know if you believe in therapy or not, or
Yeah.
how how important is that even in believing in yourself to do something like app building? How important is that to align yourself with positive mental health as well?
Mm. Mental health is extremely important. It's extremely important. I think that in our society today, it
Mm,
started to become sort of a trend. Like it started to become more popular to get therapy or to go to therapy and even just the concept of mental health. Culturally, I come from a Nigerian family. Um, it's like these kind of things aren't talked about as much or weren't talked about as much. I feel like it's
mhm,
similar with here in the US as well, in Black community. And so I'm glad that there's been a whole shift in how mental health is perceived, and that it's more accepted and
mm,
encouraged for men as well
mhm,
to seek out things like therapy and to take care of themselves. I would say that in my own personal journey, I go back to I always start with that first app I built in 2014 because I went through I went through everything during that time, all the highs, the lows, and I experienced mental health challenge during that time. Like I went through a depression during that time. You
mm,
know, I was always the person who was the happy, go lucky guy. Like I was always smile on my face and everything. And the irony of it is I was working on a mental health app. You
mm.
know,
Oh
I was
my
working on a mental
god.
health app and I went through depression. And so and so
How did you get through that depression, coach? Like, how did you get through those low times? Like, what made you get to here? Like, how did you get right through those times?
I mean, it's
Like, depression is huge, and
yeah,
especially now when it's like we don't even know how to even communicate about it.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because we
yeah,
don't know the words to say. Like,
yeah. I
how did you
I
do it?
think the short version is the grace of God. I
Mm.
think the long version is it's probably a whole nother podcast. uh, but but what I'll say is like that period of time, it in a lot of ways coming out of that became a blessing
Mm,
because it's it's a reference point for me around things that I've been through, challenges that I've gone through or overcome. Um, Strategies, techniques around even just like how you navigate the highs and lows.
mm,
And so life is going to throw things at you, and the way you respond is extremely important and will take you it will keep you on your path and keep you going, or it'll throw you off.
mm.
And so mental health is very, very important, and I believe it's very important to take time for yourself as well, like really like check in on yourself. And a lot of men, we don't do that enough, and so definitely like and people in general too, like definitely encourage that for sure.
So when you take your mental health day, because for myself, like I know massages is a part of the regimen,
Yeah.
of getting your hair done, getting the pamper, reflexology is huge because so
Mm,
much goes on through your feet or what have you. For
yeah.
men, what do you do as a man for just having that moment of
Mm,
relaxation and unplugging
yeah.
for, just taking that mental health moment? And we have to say what up though to you, Yvette's. She's here live is with us as well.
Eva, how you doing? So I'm very very big into a meditation, and so I've had a meditation practice for quite some time, and so that's something that I try to stay very consistent with, and very
Did you build
helpful.
this meditation app still? Is that
Yeah, I
did you
did.
build that?
I did.
Come
So
on, coach. I
yeah,
didn't want to drop it unless you said it. I was like, oh,
yeah. And I
it.
guess that's a very natural segue into still meditation. It's a meditation app that allows you to generate your own personalized meditation music, and
Mm,
the apps that I've built are connected in some way, shape, or form to either work that I do or
okay.
something personal to me. So I've done, for example, like a business card app. I've done a project management app. So it's usually connected to clients I've worked with, um,
Mhm.
day-to-day workflow, or something that's personal. And so this was an example of something that's more personal. And I feel that the time we're living in, again, this is kind of the topic we're talking about right now around mental health and just
Right.
checking in, and taking a moment, like a stillness. I feel like this is something that was just extremely important in general, and
Mhm.
a big part of like what drove me to build this specifically.
And so you did build a business card app, Drop Card as well, right? Is that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah,
Like Drop Card. What is now?
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about this one. That's
Yes,
sweet. Come on, coach. You just have
yeah.
all these hidden billionaire gems right at our fingertips. Like this is so awesome. I
Yes.
love what I'm doing. Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, so Drop Card is a business card app, and
Huh.
if you if you think about, that's you've got platforms like Dot Card. Some people are familiar with Dot Card, for example. That'll I think Dot Card is just a card, but you can scan it and it'll open up and you can see a person's profile. Drop Card, it's both an app and it's actually a physical component to it as well. So you've got the physical drop card,
Hmm.
and if you scan the drop card on a phone, it'll open up your personal profile, like social media, email, phone number, things like that. Um, and but then on the app, you can also do the same thing. It's a way of when you go to a networking event, being able to connect, exchange contacts, and make it easier to be intentional about how you're going about just connecting with others. And a lot of times we go to these events or we go to these conferences and you talk to somebody and you expect to follow up, or in your mind, like, you intend to follow up. At the end of the weekend, you have all these business cards or all these numbers in your phone, and it's then life gets in the way, right? Or it's some some of the people you reach out to, something like a drop card makes it easier to sort of uh keep things organized. And the next step for a drop card is adding like an agentic feature that allows you to do research
Hmm.
on people who you come across with.
That's a really great idea, and I love
Mm.
your user experience. And the great thing is now that I realize that I can't do things overnight, uh,
Yeah, yeah,
like learning about how to do those different things. That's why I show up for the tech calls. That's because that app is amazing. And last app
thank you.
that you tried to slide through here and not even talk about is oh man, that's I mean, just so much value, y'all. You just don't understand. Coach Aki, that's what humble
Mm,
people do. They don't talk about themselves, but that's
mm,
why this platform exists
yeah,
because I understand how it is. Now,
yeah,
Blur app. What is this one, Coach? Come on, this is amazing.
yeah. So Blur app allows you to blur sensitive information on your screen, and so
Mm,
this came because of going back to my YouTube channel. So I do these YouTube videos, and sometimes there might be API keys on my screen. I do a lot of AI YouTube videos. It might be a phone number or credit card information or what have you. And so a Blur app, it's a Chrome extension, and when you have it on, you can immediately blur out sensitive information that's on your screen. Yeah.
I love it. I
Mhm.
mean, you know, I like that. So this is like right here. It's good. It's a good example of it being able to blur, especially the API key. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I saw someone drop in the actual group.
Mm.
Someone did not blur out their API key.
Oh yeah, that's extremely
Yeah, that was
important.
that was not a good deal. So that's
Mhm.
like your personal passport and credit card for the internet world. So you
Yeah,
don't want to do that. So
yeah,
gosh, these are amazing. So like you best said, this
thank
is
you.
amazing. See, this is why we have AI legacy app talk
Mm,
live because those
mm,
are amazing apps, coach. Like,
100%. I
so
appreciate
it
it.
with you, you said some actually are you with your building process, do you do it
Yeah.
like more so when people actually hire you now, or
Mm,
how do you do it now? Because when you have so many different ideas
yeah.
and the skill set, yeah, I know you
Yeah.
just got to slow down. So
Yeah, no, those are really good questions. Those are really good questions. So I'll say I'm kind of at a point where I'm starting to do more in the way of building for others.
okay.
I send clients that I take on, and when it comes to my own apps, I've shifted a lot more in the direction of marketing. So
Mm,
the meditation app, for example, is kind of where a lot of my attention is on right now as far as apps go.
okay.
I'm starting to heavily market that. I just brought on two interns that actually to even help in support with it.
Mhm.
And the time we live in is such an interesting time because so they say that we're entering the time of also personal software, and
Mm,
so I interpret that as we have software on all sorts of different levels now. So meaning that some software will be software that and by software referring to different kinds of apps, web apps, mobile apps. I mentioned Chrome extensions. Some software will be software that you decide to commercialize and sell in the marketplace. Some software may be um, apps that you decide not to make a SaaS and you instead sell it in a different kind of way, maybe even as a digital, almost like a digital product.
mhm.
And then some may be apps that you decide to actually just keep in house or keep internal to yourself. And as it becomes a lot more simpler to build out these platforms and apps, um, that's going to become something that more and more people do over time. And and also what I've really realized, going back to how do you decide what to spend time on, and what to work on, pay attention to, when as I started getting into the marketing
Mm,
of these apps, seeing how granular you could really get to really effectively get your app idea out there, and the different strategies that exist. It requires time, right? It
right.
requires like dedication. So um, I think one of the important parts of just as for those who are watching and listening, you want to really think about what you're focused on. Like, what is your focus? Because we live in a time now, especially as you get deeper into the vibe coding and the building apps and these different platforms, where you can build so many different kinds of ideas out and platforms. But what are you really going to see through? Like, what are you going to see end to end, and going to keep taking and actually bring fully to life? And I said those are questions that you need to ask yourself, and especially when you're working on your app, and another idea pops up, and you're like, you're not thinking about pivoting, or you're thinking about, really ask yourself, like, if that makes sense for you at that time or not.
And it's so funny because you said when you actually planned out your YouTube, which is a good thing too now. So
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying the time thing is good and bad.
yeah, yeah.
So
Oh,
when you
yeah,
said
yeah,
the
yeah,
10 years with the YouTube,
yeah.
what I thought about too was when we talked a little bit about now having this blueprint builder and having
Mhm.
a niche.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about when you share with us during a tech call or what have you, when you're thinking about your app, think about what you can do next. Like, don't think
Mm,
about just the first version. Think about the
yeah,
second, third, fourth, fifth version. So,
yeah.
like, even those little small trinkets of
Mm,
mindset things
mm,
is why I needed to be a part of this type of
mm.
community. Because again, how I think is the right now. But when you think
Right.
about how structure works, the importance of having an administration panel,
Yeah,
database, having a
yeah.
wait list, like all of these factors, like we don't know how to do all of that, right? I
Mm,
mean, off the rip.
yeah.
Education is the one thing that no one can take from you, but if you don't know to educate yourself, that's where ignorance comes. But that's
Mm,
why I do what I do. You know what I'm saying? That's
yeah.
why we have these distribution opportunities.
Mhm.
But having that long-term idea to know that consistency is the long play, winning is going to take doing it over and over again, sometime a little bit of failure.
Mm,
But when you have a Miss Emma that downloaded the Drop Card app, thank you so much for the support. So she, so she came on and just used it right now. And Yvette's even shared with
Appreciate
us,
it,
you
Emma.
have to be passionate about what you're building. That's what
Mm,
will help you keep you on track. I want to make sure I stay on track too, staying within the hour because I can keep going with this app builder stuff. It's just such a passion for me as well.
yeah.
So I want to kind of go into our top 8, just kind of asking questions to kind of go with that as well, to kind of wrap
Mhm.
up the call as well, Coach, because I truly appreciate your time because I just looked up like, dang,
No,
okay.
happy to be here.
so
This has been a good
so
conversation. Yeah.
yes. So for the first question I have for you, and I'm definitely using that drop card app because that was me at the networking event. So is there an affiliate link for it, or you don't do affiliate links for yours? Is affiliate
No,
links?
I don't currently have them, but we're gonna set up the affiliate
Come
for
on,
sure.
I need it because I'm gonna
Yeah,
put all
yeah,
of my
yeah, for
so on
sure.
my actual page, I put all the
Yeah.
replays. And so
Okay.
what for each person that comes on live, I'm gonna
Okay.
have their affiliate link so that way, any person because this is
Okay.
gonna be bigger than Grant Cardone. Like he doesn't even know it yet. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But I'm just putting it out there. Oprah is gonna knock on my door. It's coming.
Mm, mm.
So
Oprah,
so the first
Oprah, if
question
you're
for you,
watching,
coach, is
I'm gonna so I'm gonna have an affiliate for Drop Card and for Still app. So I'll send you over those.
because I will need both,
Yeah,
please. Thank you. Because
for sure.
I could have got one with Miss Emma. Miss Emma already
Mm,
downloaded the drop card app and so
mm.
came on the live show. So thank you for the support, Miss Emma. Thank you so much, Yvette, for
Thank
the
you, Miss
support,
Emma.
seriously, and Talia and everyone that's here live. But the first question for you, in regards to a superhero. Like I was
Mm.
if you could be any superhero, what superhero would you be? I would be Flash. I'm a
Okay.
Delta from Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. So I'm Flash. That's my
Yeah,
line name as well.
yeah.
What would your superhero be and why?
Flash is a good one. Flash is a good one.
Yes.
That's probably top three. That's probably top three for me because Flash is I've always liked fast thing, like just like speed. I've always enjoyed speed. I used to run track and field. Like I'm like
Yeah,
Flash
me
probably
too.
would have been. Oh wow, what
Yep, I ran track, I played basketball, and I played volleyball, and,
oh
so I
wow,
was
a three sport
it just
athlete.
didn't sit me down. Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, you were rocking. You were so
But that's
I
how we
was
got the app idea though, coach. So, just thinking about what I used to do, I was like, "Let
yeah.
me make all this work." But go ahead, coach, I'm
Mm.
sorry for interrupting. Go ahead. Mhm.
So I would say the Black Panther.
Nice.
I would say the Black Panther. Yeah,
Okay.
Wakanda forever over here. Yeah.
So so Wakanda forever, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. I love it. I love it. So, now tell me this in regards to the Black Panther. Are you a fan of and Miss Yvette is on her cell phone, so she's gonna make sure she downloads the apps later for you. Thank
Cool.
you so much for the support as well. We
Thank you, Miss
appreciate it
Yvette.
100%. Okay, so Black Panther to Flash. Come on. So, my next question for you is if you can actually define your brand in one word, what's the one word you would define your brand and why? My one word is resilience. Because again,
Mm,
there's so many ups and downs that I've been through in regards to this thing called life, just
yeah.
education and learning and AI and
Mm,
wealth and oh heck, let's be a trillionaire. You know what I mean? Just
yeah.
opportunity. So
Yeah.
resilience is mine because you have to have God first in regards to just knowing that everything is going to be exactly how it's supposed to be at the moment that
Mm,
we're in, which is right
mm,
now, even
yeah.
within our conversation. What's that one word for your brand that drives you and just helps you to keep going?
I would say I'll say empowerment.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Empowerment. Yeah. That like just the idea of you know, I want when people see my brand to feel empowered to build their own brands and to continue with what they're also working on and that
Mhm.
also engaging with whether it's my products or services or coaching or whatever it may be that you feel like empowered to do your own thing and build what it is you're working towards.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Empowerment.
Yeah.
Okay. So, my next question for you in regards to just understanding that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And so, when you think about your journey and where you're from, because I'm from Detroit, Michigan, what up,
Mm.
though?
What
Uh,
up, though?
so, when you think about Nigeria, as you're sharing, that's where you're from.
Yeah.
Kind of share how important is repping your home and doing things for your hometown, where you're from, and where you call home now. Because I'm still in Detroit, Michigan, so I still call it home.
Yeah. So I consider home New York. I consider home New York. So
Okay.
my
Okay.
family's from Nigeria. Both my parents were born and raised in Nigeria, but I was born and raised in New York. So
Okay.
It's a city called New Rochelle,
Okay.
914 area code. And if you know people from New Rochelle, you know that we take a lot of pride in our city because in New York, you've got the boroughs, and
Mhm.
sometimes they like to throw a little bit of shade for those who might be outside of borough or right outside of borough. And so yes, I take a lot of pride in my hometown on New Rochelle, and but where I'm at now, I'm in Philly now. So I also like to represent Philly as well. I'd say New York and Neuro is that's what raised me, but Philly is kind of like what's made me. So
Okay, okay. Have you been home to Nigeria even from your parents being from there? Have you been there at all?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yes, I've been back to Nigeria a couple of times, and it's also a very important, part of me as well.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
I learned how to cook Nigerian food a couple years back, and I don't know if you've ever had jollof rice.
No,
Never had jollof rice.
I have
All
not,
right. Well,
no.
when you try jollof rice for the first time, just
Mhm.
make sure it's Nigerian jollof rice.
Okay, okay, okay. What makes it the difference with the Nigerian versus like, what makes it different?
So you've got different you got different countries on the continent, and some of them on the west coast or the west side of Africa make different kinds of jollof rice. So you've got Nigerian rendition of jollof rice, you've got Ghanaian jollof rice, you've got Senegal's, actually those are the originators of jollof. And so
Mm,
they don't get enough love, honestly, because they really were the inventors of it. But Nigerians have this tendency to like to take other people's
take
uh,
me other people's stuff.
and like
That's funny.
like make it like more popular. But um
Right.
it's but yeah, Nigerian jollof is definitely the best jollof, and I encourage you to try it for sure.
That's what's up. Okay. Today says she
Yeah.
loves Nigerian food, but she did ask a
Mm.
good question. She said, "How big are apps in Nigeria?" That's a great question.
Mm. So apps are very big in
Mm,
Nigeria, because in Nigeria there's also a the way data works is different. You have to pay for data in it's a lot more expensive out there than it is over here. And
mhm,
so there are even certain um like apps that people use that out there, whether it's for the finances now, in order to be banked, that they don't use out here in the US. And so apps are also big out there, and they're also parallel markets too. So you'll see certain apps in Nigeria and across Africa as a continent
hmm,
that they actually mirror some of the apps here,
okay.
in different industries. So for those who are even thinking about just a global have like a global mindset, or thinking about opportunities in other places, like there are definitely opportunities on the continent too that are worth considering when it comes to just needs, and problems to solve, and ideas to work on.
I would think too, like bridging the
Mhm.
gap between just, family here that's,
Yeah.
like even for yourself, like from New
Hmm.
York and just
Yeah.
wanting to know a little bit more about your heritage and even at
Yeah.
home, because again, with them having some type of app building
Mm,
process, you never know what type of collaboration could come about, right? Just being
for
a
sure.
part of it. Thank you so much for the great questions. So that was amazing because you never
Mhm.
know what can happen in regards to collaboration. So my
Absolutely.
next question in regards to travel. So
Mm.
I've traveled to 48 of the 50 states. I've lived internationally.
Wow.
I've lived in Toronto, loved it. Like,
Mm.
but that's my favorite place I've traveled to, Toronto. And the T dot, gotta represent the T
Okay.
dot
Okay.
because my cousin played professional basketball there, Chris Bosh. He's been, so
What's your
anyway,
cousin?
he is been in the
You
news
know, it's,
with
it's,
this.
it's crazy. Actually, I see the minute
You
you
see the
just said
resemblance?
that, the
Wait,
minute
the
you just
forehead.
said that, like, I see the energy.
You see the energy?
Yeah.
He just actually had a health scare and was on the,
Mm.
internet everywhere, so me just
Oh,
I got
wow.
prayers,
Oh,
definitely,
praise
just
up to no, I didn't know that. Wow.
so just but Toronto is where we, grew and built his, started his basketball career there
Yeah.
before he actually retired. And I was actually managing his nonprofit organization, the
Oh,
Chris
wow.
Bosh Foundation. So
Wow.
when living there, it was amazing.
Mm.
And, just all it was like the different parts that you can actually have the real, maybe Jollof. I've never tried it, but I
Yeah.
know in Toronto you can find it because they have
Yeah.
different pockets of Nigerian food if you're from different
Mhm.
areas. So that's my favorite place that I've traveled to. So for yourself, what's your favorite travel place and why?
Man, my favorite travel place. That's a good question. That's a good question. You know, I'm gonna actually have to say Nigeria. I'm gonna have
Mm,
to say Nigeria. You know, I think so. Growing up, very Americanized,
okay.
and I went when I was younger,
Mhm,
when I was very young, and then I went a few years back. The last time I went was for my cousin's wedding, and it was a whole different perspective that I had, and I think that it's this being able to contrast it with where I was at mentally as a
mhm,
child versus like where I was at when I went back the last time, and it's being in that environment, and also when you think about just like the climate here
mhm.
versus Nigeria has its challenges as well, but just to be in an environment where it's just like your people and all everywhere, right?
Right,
And
right.
it's a good feeling, and so I'm gonna say Nigeria. I'm gonna say
What's
Nigeria.
one place when I visit Nigeria, because I have
Yeah,
not, and Helen's from South Africa. She's gonna be on a live here, or she's from Cape
yeah.
Town, I believe. She's gonna be on a live here in a couple of weeks. But what in Nigeria should you have to try if you ever go? Do you have
You said as far as food or as far as
just period about the whole Nigeria experience? That's just
yeah,
exciting in itself to know someone that we're going to Nigeria at some point,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah,
We
yeah, yeah.
have our jet at we're gonna have to
Yeah.
wanna do things. So we're we
So
start with the end in mind. But
for sure, for
so if
sure.
we're flying, taking, I'm coming to Philly from Detroit, picking you up on the jet, and then we're flying over to Nigeria.
Yeah.
Where should we actually go? What's one place we gotta go to if we actually visited?
So I would say I'll say there's multiple places,
Mhm.
and I would say that because you gotta see multiple sides, and so on one side would be Surulere,
Okay,
which
okay.
I feel like you'll get a little bit more of an authentic Nigerian experience.
Mhm.
Going to an area like Surulere, that's where my part of my family lives.
Okay.
And then I would say Banana Island. That
Huh.
that will give you like a more kind of like glitz and glamour, kind of, restaurants and the things of that nature. And then
Mhm.
there's also an area which this would be good for everybody. It's called Yaba.
Hmm.
Yaba is actually the tech hub in Nigeria.
Okay.
Um, and there's like a area within Yaba where it's like you got like startups and you've got co-working spaces and the like. So yeah, so I'm gonna say Surulere. If you guys know of like the artist Wizkid, like Wizkid is from Surulere, Nigeria
Huh.
as well. Um, and fun fact. But yeah, Surulere, Yaba, Tech Hub, and then Banana Island. Banana Island, yeah.
Banana Island. See, the great thing is when you do things live or you have video is
Yeah,
because
this
you never lose it. Um, so, so when I travel to Nigeria, all I have to do is pull up the live for March 3rd,
mm,
2026. Coach Aki telling me all the places that you have to actually visit. Oh my
yeah.
gosh, in Nigeria. This is amazing. Oh,
Mhm.
this Oh, okay, but that's only $1,000 from Detroit. Okay, not bad, not a bad flight.
Not bad.
Okay, awesome. So my next question for you in regards to like dates, like, is there a day, holiday, or standout time for you? For myself, it's my sobriety date, which is November
Mm,
20th, 2023. That was just life changing. I'm a little over 2 years sober. My
yeah.
mind is coming clear. I'm figured out my billionaire journey. I'm loving
Mm,
myself more. Just taking things one day at a time seriously. So that was just the transformation for me to realize that, that stuff, maybe alcohol is maybe not the thing you need to do after
mm,
3 DUIs.
yeah.
So I think I got it now. So November 20th is my actual date. Do you have a day for yourself that stands
Mm.
out, holiday or season of the year that, kind of stands out that for you that you just kind of look forward to?
Oh, that I look forward to. That I look forward to. Man, I'm not sure if there's necessarily a day that I look forward to per se.
Okay.
I like the warm weather, so I'm always I'm always looking forward to the spring and the summer in general.
Right.
I would say some days that just stand out for me though, like June 9th.
Mhm.
Um, so June 9th, 2015 is when I kind of left the job I had at the time to go work on this first app that I
Okay.
mentioned, and that was that was such a formative experience for me during that time. So I just always remember that date, and then I'll say but I say apart from that, honestly, like I just like the warm weather. If it could be 75 and sunny every day, That would be a dream come true for me. Uh, and
No, that's right.
yeah.
'Cause I used to live in Texas, so, like,
Oh
the
yeah.
warmth there, it was just so extreme, but Michigan, you get all 4 seasons here, like,
I
there's
can
you get the
imagine. It
snow,
gets
you get
cold
the
out. It gets cold out there, right?
oh my god. So, we don't hold it up here, so Detroit makes sure it all 4 seasons, Mother Nature
Mm,
makes sure she takes care of us, so
yeah.
that's that's cool. So, okay, so warm weather, so we're like on that one as well. So,
Mhm,
the last couple of questions for you, and I'm gonna let you get back to your
mhm.
evening. So if you could touch younger Coach Aki on the shoulder, back when you
Yeah,
were living in New York, before even AI was thought of, before the tech days, before even knowing about an app, and you
yeah.
could tell your younger self a piece of advice to lead this thing called life, what kind of advice would you give yourself? And mine would actually be just to love yourself. Just
Mm,
and love yourself. You're different. It's okay.
yeah,
just
yeah.
just don't be like everybody else. It's okay.
Mm,
But so honestly, love myself is what my piece of advice would be for me. What piece of
yeah.
advice would you give for your younger self to kind of lead this thing called life if you could go back?
So you know what? I'm actually going to spin this, right? And I heard somebody say this one time, and it really resonated with me in certain instances. And I actually think I would rather hear from my younger self,
Hmm.
because I think that as we get older, a lot of times like we lose that like youthful energy and like that ability to dream
Hmm.
and to continue to think big. And we start wanting to get realistic, and people around you telling you to to think different. What are you doing? They try to kind of come at the goals that you have for yourself and whatnot. And I would want the younger me to tell me to keep to keep going and keep the same um verb that he had at that time. And so I'll I would actually rather listen to my younger self. But if I had to give my younger self advice, it would really just be to I'll tell him, no matter what, just keep going. Oh, you on mute. He's still on mute. He's, you're on mute. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sound went out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what man, technical difficulties happen. It's all good. Yeah, I don't know. That's so strange.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yep.
You can hear me now.
I can hear you now. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So here we go.
It was getting too hot. It was getting, we getting too
It's just they just wanted to shut me down, but that's okay because we just keep going. That's literally how things work around here. So I just wanted to make
hot.
sure that give you
Oh no, it's coming off again.
a problem. Okay, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So the last question, Coach, in regards to you mentioned your apps. I wanted to
Mhm.
give you an opportunity to kind of as we wrap up, because again, I appreciate just the opportunity to connect with you, building apps,
Mhm.
building visions and opportunities and having your authentic story. So share with the people as we wrap up, and just knowing that thank you so much, Miss Emma, just for the support and everybody just showing up as well. So wrap up for us in regards to just the power of collaboration, the power of your app building. Just
Yeah.
also be if you could in regards to just what's next for Coach Key.
Mm. What's next? So I would say we're living in a very just opportune time, and there's so much happening right now. If you are part of the App Spill with AI community, if you're someone watching and you're into vibe coding, you're into tech, and you are staying abreast with what's going on in technology and in AI, and if you're not, I hope that this episode and this show is will kind of give you the nudge to really take it seriously, because AI is I'm not even gonna say about to change everything. AI is changing everything, and
Mhm.
so what's next is really continuing to lock in on this time that we're living in, and make sure that I'm making the most of the fact that we're living in probably like a once in a lifetime kind of period in history. We've had, of course, previous times in history, right? When people talk about, let's say, like the .com era, right,
Mhm.
or even just changes in the way the world works, industrial revolution. Like you hear about these periods of time, and so to kind of have the like the awareness or like the a level of consciousness during this time is something that I'm not taking for granted, and so that's kind of what I would say.
But taking that for granted, like with AI,
Mhm.
how large would you say is the window for people to take advantage of building with AI, building
Yeah,
apps, building visions? How much time do we have? Is there a limitation at all?
yeah. So I would say the way to look at it right now is, I was looking at a graph the other day around how many people, percentage wise, in the world are learning about AI or have learned about AI, and it's actually a very you'd be surprised such a small amount of people who have so like the graph was broken into people who haven't done anything at all, where they like haven't come across ChatGPT yet, people who
Mhm.
have used ChatGPT.
Mhm.
It was like a decent amount, and then it was people who have used other tools was an even smaller amount, and those people who have coded with AI, so like vibe coding and building apps, it was like such a small section of people. And so I say that to say the a lot of the opportunities is in the gap between those who haven't yet got into the haven't yet woken up, if you
Right.
will, and those who are awake. And so uh and so it will take, from what I'm really starting to understand, is that it will take time for this to really integrate into society fully. So you probably have a couple of years, but as we know, just the way opportunities go, and the way life goes, that um the earlier you are, right, and you don't want to be too early, but the earlier you are, the the easiest it is to sort of capitalize, and then the as time goes on, that opportunity starts to decrease. And so I'll say a couple of years. And one other thing I would say is that, just to hammer home the importance of AI and just the implications of AI, I've heard it described as electricity.
Mm.
And and so if you think about what electricity meant for the world, it it something that became a part of every fabric of society.
Mm.
And so that's kind of how I'm looking at this. This is
Right.
something that's going to impact everyone and everything, and will just become ultimately a natural part of how we live. But right now, in these early stages, is definitely looked at as uh like a sector almost, but it's really just technology. It's really just technology.
And it's so key for if you have a business to have some piece of technology to align with it,
Yeah.
just because of the world that we're living in and where we're
100%.
going into as well. So, Coach, I truly appreciate you not only for the time that being on, putting yourself on Upwork for Justin to find you, for
Yeah.
us to be a part of Appsville with AI, for
Mm.
all of the value that you provide, not just for myself, but over 800 members that are a part of the Build with AI community and family. I just want to say thank you because I mean, it's the time that you put and invested and the knowledge that you have has allowed so many people to move forward and not get stuck within their dreams, because that's what those tech calls do.
Mm.
Those give us
Mm.
that extra piece of clarity. And this has given me the opportunity to tell you thank you, because
Mm.
I wouldn't be able to. I already know, trust me, coach, it's coming. I'm coming for you. So, because I have so many different things
Yeah.
that's brewing, but
Yeah.
I just appreciate everything that you provide in regards to learning and growing and being the best version of yourself, because
Mm.
that's going to allow you to help us be the best version of ourselves. So I just wanted to tell you thank you on to the world on March 3rd.
Mm.
And where can people find you if they want to connect with you in regards to app building or anything about you as well? I just want to give you that opportunity to provide your information. I do have your LinkedIn, but you have
Yeah.
a way that people can provide, connect with you.
Yeah, so you can find me at Sir Akinbi across social media for the most part. So that's Sir Akinbi on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. TikTok and YouTube are where I'm most active.
Okay.
And then Sir Akinbi on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram really are platforms I'm primarily on. And then you've shown the apps that I'm pretty much active with. So stillmeditation.app. That is what I'm actively promoting right now. For those who are into health and wellness and need a moment of stillness right now. And I also just want to shout you out, Adrian, too. For this platform, for what you're building here, for taking a chance on yourself and continuing to take a chance on yourself, and like what you're doing to really shine light and really increase the reach of this overall space. I think it's just really, really dope. And I've really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you, Coach. And
Yeah.
Yvette also said, thank you, Coach, for your time as well as sharing your knowledge with us. Because, again, there would not be us if you don't have the little pieces. And like someone said earlier, it takes a village. 10 Days said it takes a
Yeah.
village. It does, in regards
Mm.
to just kind of building and learning and being the best version of ourselves. So
Yeah.
thank you again.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you for a testimonial as well, just your
course.
experience on being a part of this live virtual conversation.
Mhm.
Because distribution is the one piece that most people have a problem with.
Yeah.
Sharing the actual app, that's the easy part, the fun part, right?
Mhm.
Staying up hours and talking about it in a group chat. But the distribution and getting it out there, monetizing it and making
Yeah.
those billions,
Mm.
selling it to that's the goal. That's the end game.
Mm.
We're not here to play. We're here to
For
win.
sure.
So
For sure.
thank you, Coach. I truly appreciate you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Cool.
What up, though? Yeah. Oh my goodness, that was amazing. Tech Coach Aki. Oh my goodness, that was awesome. Building apps to win. Today, connecting, and you know what? Another shout out to Justin Burns. I'm so full of emotion because I feel the journey God has me on. I was reaching out to one of my fans earlier from Delta Sigma Theta, Yolanda Hill Ashford, and she was going into a meeting and she said something that God has a light on her that knows that she's exactly where she's supposed to be here today. And that's exactly how I feel in regards to just this conversation, in regards to 10 Days showing up. Thank you for showing up and being a part of the conversation. Miss Emma, Yvette, Talia, I appreciate everyone, Coach Aki, for saying yes, because it does take a village. It does take those moments of depression. Like I was having Coach Aki talk a little bit further about his experience, about his app building process in 2014, because he doesn't realize that so many people, including myself, went through those same dark moments. Those moments of wanting to give up, those moments of not understanding the why behind why freaking Lovable will not connect to Stripe at 2:33 in the morning when you know that's the last piece you need to get that app going for your actual launch. Whatever it is to get it to the next client, whatever the road is, there's going to be bumps and hurdles. There's going to be moments when you want to give up. And the key thing is about this platform and why we wanted to provide a space to be safe, to talk about your app, talk about your launch, talk about the vision that you have in regards to your authenticity of your story. It's because, again, I've been there. I know what it feels like. And it's no fun seeing Adrian win. I want to see Adrian. I want to see Miss Emma. I want to see Tunde. I want to see Coach Aki. I want to see Justin. I want to see the Talias, the Yvettes, every single individual that wants to put in and pour into the education of their own purpose and why. I want to help you win because that's what God wants us to do. We're taking action for our purpose and our passion. And the only way that we can consistently do that is educate ourselves and become the best version. So again, thank you, every single one of you, if you're watching live or watching the replay, because this is just the beginning of the opportunity that app building is providing is phenomenal in regards to just knowing the opportunities exist for me to my fathomous dreams can come true, and so can yours. But this platform is going to be a place that you can actually grow and build and learn about yourself and not have to do things alone. Because again, I appreciate the opportunities of learning and building with people. I don't want to do it by myself. So again, if you go to the website here, cccelevateyou.com/live, you'll see the upcoming lineup that we have that's going to be coming a part of Apps Built with AI, my family. You go be able to check out the replay and be able to, if you missed any of the replay for today. But next on March 10th, we have Alex Harris that's going to actually, he just met my guy, Myron Golden. I was like, oh my God, that's so amazing. So we're going to talk a little bit about Alex. He's a veteran and he has an app. He's a part of our app building family. He's going to be there talking to us live next Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have Miss Emma Jones that's here with us, showing love in the chat, as well as going to be live with us March 17th with her amazing app. Stay tuned. She was the winner of the contest with Apps Built with AI as well. So just it's so exciting just to hear the why behind that, and as well as Shalyn, that's going to be on March 24th. We talked a little bit about our African roots, and so she's from Africa. She works with Justin as well as a virtual assistant. Has an amazing story and growth and opportunity. We're all here together. In the way that we grow, we're going to continue to do this. I'm going to be here. Miss Emma is amazing, right? It's all about loving and supporting one another. Thank you so much for the support and every single person that shows up and is a part and leaves comments and just being a part of everything that we can do together. We're all here together, one day at a time. And if I can become the best version of myself, Coach Aki can become the best version of himself. Every single person just focuses in on what you can control, which is you versus you, baby. This thing is going to be amazing. This thing called life, one day at a time. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode, my friends. Drop in the comments some love. Thank you so much, my friends, for everyone that showed up live, the replay, comment, Coach Aki, download the apps, become a part of his affiliate program when it comes out. It's going to be on the actual website for you as well to check out. Hopefully you enjoyed this live as much as I did, because we're going to be back doing it every single Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Adrian Mays, AI Legacy App Talk Live. I can, I will, I am victorious. What up, though? Detroit, Michigan to Philly. Let's go. Empowerment was this one word. Let's go be amazing today. Deuces.